Welcome back to Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. This month I get the pleasure of being the guest designer for the Counterfeit Kit Club challenge blog, and they have a very active Facebook group, so I would definitely go ahead and check that out. This month is special. There is going to be a prize associated with the Counterfeit Kit, so I definitely encourage you to go check out the blog, check out the details. I'll definitely link that below, and everybody who's playing along this month. This month we are going to do the cherry box from August, and it featured the 49 Market Vintage Ancestry Essentials. So I've kind of gotten a little taste here. You got several of the papers, the chipboard stickers, the wishing bubbles and trinkets, one stamp set, washi tape, fabric tape, and you got a distress oxide, or just a distress ink, and then the die cuts. So lots of fun goodies, but primarily brown. I don't scrapbook brown very often. In fact, I have 2 kits, maybe 3, that have brown in them out of my over 100 kits. One is the kit that I use for, it's called like a brown boy, so it's got mustaches and motorcycle parts, and it's just kind of a brown feeling. Another one is garden, because dirt. Yep, there's brown in that one. And then a third is a crafting kit that I've got that Echo Park did a very, very long time ago. It just had some dark wood grain backgrounds, essentially. So, needless to say, this is a little bit of a difficulty for me to pull in brown. But I thankfully had picked up a paper pad that's definitely going to help me. Okay, so this is called Vintage Ancestry Essentials. So I am going to lean heavily on the vintage theme. And I am going to be using this paper pad. So what I've done is I've pulled out a single sheet of each of these papers, minus the pink. I don't really like that page. So I've got a single sheet from each of these papers. And then I also have a Tim Holtz Ideology paper stack called Lost and Found. And look at how many browns there are. Now this is a fantastic paper. I wish he would continue to do paper because it is thick. This is like almost Vicky Bouton Foundation's paper thick. This is going to take some mixed media if I wanted it to. And what's also fantastic about this paper pad, and I really appreciate this, is that there's a pattern on one side, and the B side has a solid that's got a little bit of distressing on it. Like that looks like a tile floor in that color. And each of them is just a smidge different. It's just a different color. I love this. So I'm going to show you the papers that I pulled, just so we can flip through them quickly. And then I will show you the embellishments that I gathered. So everything that's got a little hole punch and a border strip, you know, is going to be from the Recollections paper pad. Again, that was the Flea Market paper pad. And then I also pulled in some corrugated paper. I figured, why not? Let's add some texture to this Essentials kit. You can see here that they have a couple different options here for texture as far as stamps go. I decided to go through paper. So this is corrugated, which is kind of cool. I haven't played with it yet, so I figured I'd rip it out and let's play with it. So then the ones without are from that Tim Holtz Ideology. So this is really, really cool for me. Because these look like tins or labels, like vintage labels, and I think that's really cool. And it has that nasty, icky vibe to it. So, same with these stickers. They just look like they came straight out of a vintage store, which I think is a lot of fun. And then look at this. This is really cool. So it looks like a film strip with like a newspaper behind it. That's really cool. And I loved this. I think this is a lot of fun. I'm not sure how I would use it yet, but it's definitely an option. And I've got the B side too if I really need to default to those colors. So I just picked out things that I thought would reminded me of vintage stores. Okay. Then I do have another piece of kind of texture, and this is going to be burlap. So sticking with that brown theme. And then here is from that flea market. I love this paper. I don't know why. I think it's the color, but the beauty of the random dot too. I just really, this is my favorite paper out of the whole pack, which is saying something because these are really cool. Like, look at that beautiful frame. Oh yeah, that whole thing is gold foil. This one's meh. This is really cool too. I love that they decided to go with this foiling in random spots. And this is so fun. No, that gold foil's got my heart. And then they added silver, which I think is hilarious. Like, they didn't stick with the whole gold theme. But I definitely have a lot of variety of things that I can tell. Like, I can talk about old vintage books. I can talk about gate signs or doilies, or I think the two of these sum up vintage stores perfectly. And I absolutely, look at this, says antiques buy, sell, trade. Isn't that fun? And it's kind of worn, which is even better. Yay. This is so much fun. An oldie, but a goodie. Look at that. So true. So those are my papers. I'm going to go ahead and just leave one here so that I can place my die cuts on it. So the majority of my die cuts came from two places, maybe three. I'll say three. I've got this 49 in Market mix and match die cuts from the Vintage Ancestry Naturalist Ephemera. So love that you can use this. But what I did is I saw this as kind of the paper that has all of the colors. Just all of the colors. And I noticed that these actually match. I was like, okay, perfect. It's got brown. It's got some of that orange / pink / red. It's got some green. It's got yellow. So I have I have not used these very much. But what I did is I picked out the ones that can correspond with going antique shopping, right? So you got old postcards, you want to be curious, you want to investigate, you want to discover, discovery, adventure. I mean, loving this life. This, even though this is like outside door theme, like stay curious, seek and discover, seek and be curious, like all of those are things that can be used when you're talking about shopping antiques as well. Now, there is a fantastic antique shop down in downtown Kansas City. If you have never been there and you like going antiquing, you have to check this place out. It is 4 stories. 4 stories. Main, first, second level, and a basement full of antique. It's downtown Kansas City. I can't remember the name right now. I'll link it down below if I can figure it out. Again, I want to go see those. So that is a lot of the Naturalist ephemera. Then I pulled some stuff from the Vintage Beached collection, where you've got this really cool netting. I just pulled those two. And then a little frame that goes with it. Like, stay curious. Yes, that is exactly antique shopping. So, that's my 49 and Market die cuts. Now, I felt like I needed just a smidge more. Do I really need a smidge more? No, but I wanted to add some variety to this. This is a lot of the same type of icons, just in different colors. So, I decided to break out my punches and dies a little bit and my stamps. One thing I noticed right here in the chipboard is some of those film strips. So I was able to die cut some film strips. They are not colored, they're just in white. Another thing that I notice in antique shops is music. So I've got a border strip here that's almost 12 by 12, or almost 12 inches long, of a music note. I'm going to flip this over so you can actually see it. Like, look at that. Isn't that cool? I can ink this. I can do whatever I want. I can coffee stain it. This is just really cool. I will say, if this is the route you're going, coffee staining is a fantastic way to distress your papers, and it's super easy. Some other things that I pulled in that I thought were kind of fun. So I got a little fence, and another fancy fence, and a windowsill. These are all just dies that I had. It's like, I just kind of want to beef this up. I got some circles. Then I noticed this little flourish thing. So I found a die that has some little bit of flourish to it. Okay. And all of these things I purposely cut in white because I can color them whatever I want. And I can use my Distress Oxide inks. I can use paint. I can use alcohol markers. It's kind of limitless on what I can do. Then I've got just a little folder that came in with a set like this, or like a little envelope, I think is what this is supposed to be, actually. I don't know now that I think about it, because this is not going to be a full envelope. So I don't know what this is. I thought it was supposed to be an envelope, but that's not gonna work. So it's there as a cluster base. And then I pulled this stamp because I did notice an influence of birds in here. I thought I did. It's got a lot of butterflies, but it's nature, whatever. So I stamped a couple of those, and then I stamped some sayings, and I stamped some words, just so I have a little bit of variety. Like, look at how cute that turned out. Look at that little bird. So I got a lot of birds that I can color, a lot of black and white, because again, I'm going to color these based on what my layout needs. Now, something cool that they put in here, well, two cool things. One is the washi tape. This is like a 6 by 12 piece of washi. That's really cool. I have nothing like that. The second thing that they put in here that's a really cool texture is fabric tape. Now, I have the fabric tape from the new Elena collection. Let me tell you, this stuff is smooth. It is smooth. It's got a really cool texture to it. It's a little bit stretchy, and it's opaque, okay? Plus, it comes with this really sharp cutter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this blue just so you can see what this is like. This is, I mean, wow. Wow, I had only heard of fabric tape for bookbinding purposes. And we used it in high school when I took a bookbinding class. But look at how smooth that cuts. And then when I place this on top of something that's a little bit darker, you can kind of see through it. Let's see. So it's almost like washi. Almost. Okay, so I'm going to pull another piece and move this up so you can actually see what I'm doing. So this cutter is super smooth. I'm just going to go like this. Then this cutter goes bi-directional, but then cuts this super smooth. And then look. You can kind of see, but not really, behind it. Let's see if I can put it on top of this dark piece of paper right there. Like, it adds to the texture of this really cool fabric tape. And now this is repositional, so if you want it to be permanent, you probably would need to add some extra adhesive. But isn't that pretty? So I was gifted an old school product, like in August. So this is like new to me, but old school, okay? They're fabric rips from Studio Calico. I don't know that you can get these anymore. I have no idea. I was gifted to these from a lady who's like, I'm just never going to use them. Yeah, sure, I'll take them. And it's the same thing as fabric tape. So these are sticky fabric strips. It's got the same texture, don't know if you can hear that, as the fabric tape, and it has adhesive on the back. I am really excited to try this. I'm really, really excited to try this. Even more excited that I had no idea this was what the kit that they would choose for the Counterfeit Kit Club. And they would pick fabric tape to be in it. And the fabric tape that I have matches perfect with the items in my kit. Ah, I have no idea how you would counterfeit this. I just have no idea. And this is such a cool product. I'm really, really excited to try this out. Well, that is all I have for my kit this month. I will be back on the 4th to do a quick little tutorial for the Counterfeit Kit Club forgery on the 4th project. I'll also be playing along with all of the challenges this month, so my schedule, it will be a little wonky because I won't be on the normal Saturday, Wednesday schedule. I will be following the Counterfeit Kit Club's schedule this month, which is specific to date. So, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will link this cherry box down below in the contents. I will also link where you can get details for the challenge this month and the potential for a prize. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.